Hello and welcome. Our topic for the day is identifying the number of solutions of a quadratic using the discriminant. Before we go on to solve the questions, let's understand the concept of discriminant in a quadratic equation. For example, if we are given a quadratic equation of the form ax square plus bx plus c, let's say ax square plus bx plus c equals to 0 is a given quadratic equation. In this, the discriminant is given by discriminant d is equal to b squared minus 4ac. This discriminant is very helpful to identify the number of solutions of a quadratic equation. There are some rules for the discriminant. Let's read out. If d is greater than 0, then you have two real and unequal roots. That is, if the value of this expression d is greater than 0, then we have two real and unequal roots. If d is equal to 0, that is, if this b square minus 4ac, if we calculate and it comes out to be 0, then we have two real and equal roots. That is, there will be two roots which would be equal to each other, or we can say that it has a root which multiplicity of 2. If d is less than 0, then we have a conjugate pair of complex root, also called as imaginary roots. They are of the form a plus bi and a minus bi, where a and b are real while I is the imaginary number defined as I square equals to negative 1. So these are the rules which we have to keep in mind while we solve a quadratic equation to determine the number of roots using the discriminant. Let's start off. The first question says, simplify, use the discriminant to determine the number of real roots. We are given the quadratic equation ax equals to negative x square plus 16x minus 64. Let's write down 16x minus 64. This is equal to ax. We'll compare this equation with ax squared plus bx plus c. From here we find out the value of a as negative 1, b as 16 and c as negative 64. So a equals to negative 1, b equals to 16 and c equals to negative 64. So we'll calculate the discriminant. D is equals to b squared minus 4ac. So we'll plug in the values. B is 16, 16 squared, minus 4 times a is negative 1 and c is negative 64. 16 squared is 256. So we have minus 4 times negative 1 is a negative 4. Negative 4 times a negative 64 is a positive 256. So we have 256 minus 256, that is equals to 0. So now here we saw that our discriminant d is equal to 0. That means the equation will have one real root which is repeated. That is, both the roots would be equal to each other. So this has one real root and can be seen in option A. Let's move on to the next question. Use the discriminant to determine the number of real roots of wx equals to 4x square minus x. So we can write down wx equals to 4x square minus x. Since we do not have a constant, we can add it as plus 0. We can compare this to a standard quadratic equation of ax square plus bx plus c. From here we find out a equals to 4, b equals to negative 1 and c equals to 0. Now we find out the discriminant, that is equal to b squared minus 4ac. We'll plug in the values. B as negative 1 squared minus 4 times a is 4 and c is 0. This is equals to negative 1 squared is a positive 1, minus 4 times 4 is 16, 16 times 0 is 0. So we have 1 minus 0 equals to 1. So our d, that is discriminant, is greater than 0. That means it will have two real roots. So therefore the equation have two real roots, which is given by option C. Moving on to the next question. How many real roots does this equation have? That is tx equals to negative 2x squared plus x plus 4. So we'll find out our discriminant. Let's first find out a, negative 2, b 1, and c is 4. So we'll find out d is given by b squared minus 4ac. b is 1 whole squared minus 4 times a is negative 2, c is 4. This is equal to 1 plus 4 times 2 is 8, 8 times 4 is 32, and negative and a negative made a positive. 1 plus 32 equals to 33, so we have d equals to 33. Now d is greater than 0, that means we have two real roots. This can be seen in option B. I hope identifying the number of solutions of a quadratic using the discriminant is easy now. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.